Oh, I'm so special. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Four Letter Nerd, the podcast for adult geeks. We're here, like we are every week, brought to you by Kill the Sun Comics to show you all the geeky things that we're going to talk about today. And today we're going to talk about our MCU top 5 shows, top 3 movies. So we're gonna there's going to be a lot of shade thrown, I'm sure, because, well, we all have our opinions. So, yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to start it off. We're going to talk about our top 3 Marvel movies, MCU movies. Sony, not here. Fox, not here. And, yep. Look, sir, sir, I'm going to take away the button if you keep playing with it. I'm going to take it away. That's not what we're here for. But anyway, top 5 TV shows. Netflix is all right. Looks like we're having an issue streaming the Twitch. Oops. Hold on.
I just want to say I love you. You're doing a great job. Woo!
We're having issues streaming to our streaming places. There it go. Oh, wait, nope, it's broke again. So you may see us on Twitch. You may not see us on Twitch. I'm not sure, things are acting up. But you can see us on Facebook. You can see us on YouTube. We're there. We're going. And I was talking about TV shows. Yep, TV shows. No animated. Netflix is in there because Netflix stuff is on Disney Plus and you can watch it all. Basically, if you can watch it on Disney Plus and it's not X-Men and Fantastic Four or Fan Four Stick, we're talking about it right here today. Ours. Top 5, top 3. That's 8. 8 is twice as the number of hosts that we got, and so and 8 times 2 is 16, and if you add that 16 up to the 32, then you get a whole nother number, and it's 48. And I don't know where I'm going with this, so I'm gonna hand it off to my lady Sid, and I'm gonna stop talking now because I'm just rambling. I broke her. Yes.
Okay. Victory. All right. So thank you for that. For that introduction and the whatnot. And I think that was some Common Core math put in there as well. So we're an educational podcast now as well.
I got to bring out my multiplication table. I'm pretty sure we were supposed to introduce who's here. You know what? Just whatever. Sid.
We're all here.
It's been a very, very long Wednesday. And yes. I think that we're all ready to let's just roll with it. So we are starting with we were asked to pick our 3 favorite Marvel films and 5 favorite Marvel TV shows. As Reggie said, live action only. And we could pick from stuff that now is under the Disney Plus warehouse, but not anything animated.
Yes.
And no Fantastic Four or X-Men. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's roll that beautiful bean footage and let's see which one I'm talking. Oh, before I begin, I want to say these are not in any particular order. I did not rank these in favorite to least favorite of the top 3. These are just out of everything that they had to offer. These I thought were the best of what they had to offer for different specific reasons.
All right, so I feel like hold on. Let me interrupt you for once. I got something special because I'm doing this right here. This is what I'm doing right here. This is what we're talking about.
Yes, I appreciate
We're gonna get copyrighted.
Captain America. We're done.
Right at Captain.
Right at the cap.
Which is fortuitous. All right, let's roll because I don't know what order these are in. First up, Reggie.
One moment. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at myself. I apologize.
That's okay. I'll just stand here awkwardly or sit here awkwardly and wait for something to pop up. Here we go.
All right.
One of my favorite Marvel films, just Marvel products, period, is Black Panther. It was very much a long and awaited and anticipated film. There was a lot riding on the success of this film. A lot of people were very critically eyeing everything that they were done. And I have to honestly say, this is one of the few times that I would give Disney or Marvel an A. I wouldn't say an A plus, but like at least a low A minus on this, because not only did they cast an amazing array of actors, moment of silence for Chadwick Boseman, but the set directors were Black. The director was Black. The sound editing, costume designers, they were all Black. They took into consideration, well, that's what I led with, sir.
No, I'm just over here like the cast.
The
Everybody
cast,
was Black.
amazing. Everybody was Black, as it should be. And they were also given creative license to say, this doesn't feel natural. This doesn't look natural. This would be more historically accurate or authentic. And a lot of respect and care was given to make this movie. And that's why you had people of every race, creed, color, age group walking around saying Wakanda forever and just absolutely eating this up. And this film will always be timeless. This is not anything that you will look at in the future and like looking back and be like, ooh, that didn't age well. This is always going to be a classic, beautiful, almost perfect film. And as the very first Black-led Marvel film, live action Marvel film, they did it right. And that's what anyone that's ever been underrepresented, when they're getting this shot, especially under a big studio with so much pressure on it, this is what you want to see. And Killmonger, like,
amazing.
The soundtrack was amazing. The acting was amazing.
Yes.
The casting, as you said before, was amazing. They did it right. That's all I can really say. And that's the best that you can ever hope for.
Yeah.
And that's why this was definitely one of the top 3.
About the premiere of this movie is how many Black people dressed up in African garb to go see it.
That was tight.
And then the best meme for the movie ever was that Wakanda was next door to Zamunda, and people that didn't watch Coming to America did not get it. Like, yeah, Wakanda's right next to Zamunda. I just had all these people just looking at me like, where is Zamunda? I thought Wakanda wasn't real. What are you talking about? I'm like, do you not know?
And like, even like here you visit like generational trauma and you know, family bonds that are broken, and you see with T'Challa and Killmonger, there's this moment where you almost feel like they could get there if the two of them could just they could get there and do things right, and they miss that moment. And that happens in real life with families, but this was just so beautifully and respectfully done with all of these different cultures, all of these different styles. I really don't like to give Disney a lot of credit because I think they misstep weights. They're like kind of lazy in a lot of things, but with this particular film, there was so much care and respect done that you can't help but love this movie and will love this movie forever. Yes. I can't think of a single person that did not love this movie. And if they did, they're probably racist.
That's what I was wearing like,
yeah.
And by probably, I mean definitely racist.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, I don't know if you guys remember some time back, there was reports and rumors and actual claims that they were going to rate this movie negative purposely on websites like Rotten Tomato, IMDb, et cetera, to harm the credit of this movie. Shout out to Ryan Coogler who did this, and obviously the cast. I see on IMDb it's a 7.3 out of 10, and I'm just like, yeah, you tried it. You tried it.
So 2.7 were racist.
Right. Yeah, right. Mind you, this movie made $1.3 billion. 1.3 billion. The only movie I think to beat this was Avatar. And we've all seen Avatar. I mean, it's another Ferngully. It's so many other, but whatever. They added it, you know. So, but
you know, how many people do you know go back and rewatch Avatar? It did well when it came out because it was in 3D and it was something, but it's not something that is as rewatchable and even looked back at as kindly in their rewatching as Black Panther is. And this is nothing against Avatar because I loved Avatar.
Hey, Avatar was no Titanic. People literally watched Titanic. I don't even know if it was just for the soundtrack, the story.
15 times.
Like,
no,
you know
it's because of that love story. They were all starved for affection.
This movie's 4 hours long. They got to break it up. At the time, they had to break it up into two VHS tapes.
These young
It's
people are
funny.
like, what's a VHS? Well, you see, young people, back in the day.
Go ahead, Ness.
What's funny is that you bringing that up is because at work, I do IT stuff, right? So whenever the DVD doesn't work or the Vita, well, they have DVD, so that's good because most of the stuff that I have there is like old stuff. But anyways, with the DVD, I had to pop out one, pop it in. They watched it. They called me back. Hey, I don't know how to get it out again. Can you put the second disc in? Oh yeah. Hold on a second. Boop. Pop in the second disc. All right. Enjoy the movie. Sorry for the intermission.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean.
And that's with a disc.
Yeah, it was 2 discs.
That movie is huge.
That movie is huge. Remember, but there's he probably has an old, I won't say older version, but like an older version of the DVDs. So they split it versus like some of the DVDs now that can hold larger files.
Yeah.
And then also keep the same quality of movie, you know? Yep. I just want to say, you're here.
No, next.
Oh, dear.
No,
Oh, dear.
Next.
Oh, dear.
You can't
That's
not
it.
listen to the Camp
Yes,
Cucamonga
sir.
rap and then try to give me that right now. You cannot. You cannot. Okay, second of my third pick was Captain America, the Winter Soldier. This to me, outside of Black Panther, which even though I've just sung its praising, I really think Captain America was probably some of the best writing that Marvel ever did in their films.
Yes.
This compressed a lot of information. This film was like a jumping off point and really where things started to really kick into high gear. Not to mention you have some really incredible fight scenes and that dynamic between Steve and Bucky and bringing that whole in with Falcon and everything. And even Steve's relationship with Wanda.
Not
Why
Wanda.
did I say Wanda? Scarlet.
Scarlett Johansson, the Black Widow.
Black Widow.
Told you. Anyway, with her,
It's a long Thursday. I got you.
Yes, and it's Wednesday. Their chemistry was off the charts in this film in a way that wasn't sexual. It was like this is where you really see them build that trust that they have by the time Endgame rolls around, where it's just the two of them after the snap, that are so close. So this is one of their earlier ones, but again, this is when they really it felt like a page turned, where instead of them just making these action movies with headed in a certain direction, but you're getting little bits and pieces. This is the first one where everything started to come together, and it was a really strong jumping off point, and that's why I chose this as one of their top three. Some of the best exposition, very smartly written, unforgettable scenes in there. So that is like that whole motorcycle thing on the highway. That was fantastic. And how he used the shield to protect her when Bucky was shooting, like all of these things worked together beautifully. Not to mention, we got to see Black Panther.
Yes, it was one fantastic movie. My favorite scene is the first fight scene where Bucky and Steve are going at it. And I don't know how this ended up in every TV show and movie. Everyone, when they're fighting with the knife, does the knife drop. They're like fighting, and they come up high, and they block it, and they let it go, and catch with the other hand, and try to come up.
Yes.
Every movie, like since then, I've seen that happen. Movies, TV shows, everyone's like, fighting, I'm stabbed, no, let go, ha, catch, stab up, oh no. But
oh no,
that was one that scene was epic. Using the door as the shield sliding down the road. I feel bad for whoever's car that was. Hey, this random car gonna go chase this other dude on a motorcycle. Oh no, I fell out. Boom,
the action scenes were so tight. There was almost like a musical quality to the choreography of these fight scenes. It really brought Marvel to another level from everything that had happened, which wasn't much, but you know, they kind of started off with this, and then we got this, and then it was like, oh yes, now we're hype. This is always my fallback, and I think it's actually, if it's not the highest rated one, it's one of the highest rated Marvel films.
Because it's that good.
It is.
Oh, so I'll just add on that. So my favorite scene from this movie was the elevator scene.
Yeah.
Right? we would end up getting it back, and it's a Hail Hydra kind of deal, and you know, it was funny in Endgame. But like Captain America, that elevator scene was amazing, where he tells everybody, if you want to get off now, you know, go ahead, get off.
And this is one of the few times where he's the one that's getting in those quips, because he's usually the straight man. So this was You got to see sassy Steve, and I was here for that.
100%. I think Captain America in the MCU is one of my favorite characters. It's he kind of represents the good fight, what every man believed, to be fighting for their country. And then this movie's just like, oh, by the way, nothing is as it seems when you
Right.
died so many years ago. And Fury had very important parts. I love his getting chase scene. I love Scarlett Johansson's, like, oh, we developed a friendship, like Kat said, but also Sharon Carter's like, do you remember me, Steve? Like, kind of deal, like, what's important, and is he gonna move on? That romance that developed later on with who
On your left.
oh my God,
your left.
amazing!
On your left.
I think
Like, this is what set the stage for all of that amazing stuff that we got to see in the last 2 Marvel films.
Before we move on, because I'm gonna say this last thing, because Kat is 100% right. This movie gave us the best Captain America's uniform ever.
Oh God, yeah.
I was just gonna mention. Oh,
I have not seen a uniform that topped this, and I think he's
Yeah.
wearing the same one in Infinity War, and I could be wrong with the beard. Oh my God, him and the beard. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the best.
yeah.
All right, I'm done.
One final thing I want to say about Captain America is there are a lot of people, and this, I'm coming from a very specific viewpoint as a white woman. There are a lot of things that white people, myself included in this, and sometimes I hate to be included with white people, but unfortunately, it is what it is. He comes into these films and this fast forwarding with a kind of naivete because he's missed a lot of what's happened. So he steps into this world and he's seeing, in his eyes, he thinks of America as a certain thing.
Right.
And then he gets fast forward into this future and he sees just how awful the white people that are in charge have been treating everyone around them. And for someone who doesn't see it, like has those same kind of blinders on, although his are for a different reason, he is a perfect gateway for people to see things through that kind of viewpoint. And so when he revisits and he sees how things have happened with Falcon, and he sees the disparity with people of color and all of the things that have happened in all of the films, I think that for people that may not have been as sympathetic before, you're now seeing it from his point of view. And I do think that there is growth there for people who may not have had that growth before.
100%.
I don't think I'm wording that well, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I'll touch upon it when it's my turn. I think I know exactly where you're going.
Yeah. I think you do, but I am trying to be like, I don't want to misstep in what I'm saying. So I'm trying to be very delicate about it, but I think you understand the long and the short of what I'm trying to say. So with that said, badly, next. Now, Spider-Man Homecoming, I chose this film because this was another greatly anticipated and wanted character to be brought into this universe. And even though he's on loan, this is canon, this is under Disney, so it counts. Spider-Man Homecoming was everything that we wanted his homecoming to be. The title even was a beautiful nod to the fact that you're bringing him back into the fold of Marvel and integrating him with these characters that we feel like should have been integrated all the way around. Now, we did get to see some of it in the battle at the airport and how adorable, but this is where we get his story told in a new way, a more modernized way, and it was delightful. It was, although I have loved all 3 of the men that played Spider-Man for different reasons, Tom Holland, I think, is the one that's come the closest to playing both Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Yes, give that woman an applause. Yes.
He is the closest to what I don't want to say all of envisioned, but I think the most popular vision of what Peter Parker and Spider-Man is. And Tom Holland just captures him beautifully, and having him tied into this and with Zendaya as MJ, as the surprise MJ, and with the beautiful Aunt May. I chose this as one of the best because I think this movie had a certain joy and like happiness, and it wasn't as serious as some of the other ones, but this was a way of bringing him into the fold a little bit more fully and expanding on where he's been all this time and how his story comes about without rehashing everything that we've seen 100 times before. So I just thought this was really well done. I love watching this film. I'll watch it over and over again. And this is as close as I can get to talking about the perfect Spider-Man film because it was not allowed. So, and I think at least Mayhem knows which one I'm talking about right now. But that's what I'm going to say about this film. Anyone else have anything to chime in? Please do.
Listen. I agree with everything you said. The only problem is, they came out with the third one. Okay, what was it? No Way Home. Yes,
Right.
Far From Home, No Way Home, and just the Spider-Man series. Tom Holland's Spider-Man portrayal movies have been amazing.
Mhm.
Okay, if we only got Homecoming, I would have said it was a classic by itself. You know what I'm saying? Far From Home, I think it's really good. I don't think it's a classic like Homecoming. It could have been just the impact, but
it's a little bit weaker.
Right, but it's by a little bit weaker doesn't mean it by a lot.
No.
In fact, Mysterio honestly took the show.
He did.
Honestly, Jake.
He did.
Jake. Oh my God, Jake. And then No Way Home. It hits for like 3 reasons. First of all, spoiler alert: we got all the Spider-Man.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I mean, we kind of figured out because what was it? Brazil messed up purposely and released that trailer, and everybody was dissecting it. But we got all 3 Spider-Man. But then we all got all 3 Spider-Man, and we got great dialogue, great interactions. And then
they did the meme.
They did the meme. I was gonna save that as a bonus. But then on top of that, the whole story was amazing. We got all 3 Spider-Man. We got some classic villains. You know what I'm saying? And it just all kind of came together. And it was just like people were like, "Yo, Andrew Garfield's my Spider-Man. He's here." He had a great moment, especially at home when they were like, "Prove he's Spider-Man." He's hanging from the wall with like 4 fingers, and I'm just like, I'm sold.
Yeah. The only reason why I didn't choose No Way Home over Homecoming is because No Way Home was amazing. We got to see that fantastic save redemption for a specific person, which I'm trying to not be, even though everybody should have seen it by now.
They should
try not to give that all away. The reason I went with Spider-Man Homecoming because this is the one that we had been waiting for. Everything else that we got was a bonus, and we wouldn't have gotten anything else if we hadn't got this first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when I told Reggie, I chose which ones I felt were good, were the 3 best for specific reasons, and not like this is my first favorite, second favorite, third favorite. I'm like, no, these are, I think, the 3 best that they had to offer of what they had out for very specific reasons. And this was the best introduction to Spider-Man that we could have gotten, that we have ever gotten. Because we had the best marriage in Tom Holland of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, and just an already established universe that we didn't have to spend a ton of exposition building on. But please do not take that as like No Way Home isn't great, because No Way Home was effing amazing.
Yes. I will definitely want to add something that we overlooked. Michael Keaton as the Vulture.
Yeah.
Dude, yes. Batman.
Well, there he is, looking right at us.
Yeah, I mean, Staten Island, but Michael Keaton as the Vulture was amazing. Definitely.
So are we doing the TV shows next, or are we everybody doing their movies and then everybody doing their TV shows?
Ooh.
That's a good question, Mr. Director, man.
You know what? Let's do the movies. We'll do the movies, and then we'll go back and forth.
Back. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll all do like the TV series one at a time.
Okay. Got you. I got you.
Okay, so those are my 3, for better or for worse. Thank you for listening.
Yay! Thank you for sharing. Oh, my microphone fell.
Thank you.
Hi. So, when you go to school and they give you some assignments, and sometimes you're supposed to do them so that way you get points and maybe get credit. Well, I was one of those kids that had the homework wrapped, smushed in the bottom of my backpack, and I forgot to do it. So I think I managed to get the movies in there for everybody to see. 2 or 3 movies are basically the ones that everybody picked out so far. So
That's so
First one,
funny.
of course. The
Yeah.
captain. Yes.
Which one was this? Which one did you rate this one? 3, 2,
Oh.
or 1?
This one was my number one for me,
Okay.
personally.
This was my number one for a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
with you there.
Same.
But it's a tie with like several of them. It's hard to be a favorite. It really is hard to rate for anyone because each one has a touch. Each movie has a touch of something personal that hit me through my growth or through the years, or that tapped into my childhood or whatever. That it's really hard to really just give it a number and give it like, yeah, this is my number one. But I mean, to be a favorite, this was my favorite. And then it was Wakanda, and then it was like Spider-Man, and then it was like Ant-Man, and then
You're getting ahead of yourself.
I know. I'm sorry. Slow down. So, winner, Captain America. Yes, Captain America, Soldier America Man winner. He was freaking awesome. I enjoyed this movie.
Was.
Every time I play the movie, I only play like the first section when they first makes the drop when he's talking, having that Josh with Black Widow right at the drop ship. And then like, so what are you doing tonight? And like, oh, my whole team, my singing team is all dead now. So, absolutely nothing. So the duties are like, shh. Oh, he jumped off. Oh, he's got no parachute. No, he doesn't have parachute. He's like, jumps in the water, gets on the ship, and then he does his thing. Like all like, what? And then I could say so much about it, but everybody's seen it. Everybody knows that whole segment for me was like tight. It was just cool.
It really set the stage for.
Really set the stage, and so what kind of pace you were going and what kind of action we were getting to. And I have this. It's not like I don't know. It's a sense of like a movie sense, I guess, or like Spidey sense for movies. Depending how they set up the trailer and how they show a movie to the public, they have to specifically put it in order and have a formula for it. Sometimes they don't follow it, and sometimes it's like, oh man, that's gonna be dope, and you watch it like, what the fuck I just watched? This is lame. Wait a minute. This had everything that all the formula that I can't explain it, but it's like it just hit, and you just know it's going to be a good movie, like before you even see it, because between the dialogue and the little bits that they have, between the action, and how choreographed the scenes are, and how the not like a Born Identity moment where they had that close shot and you just didn't know what the hell was going on. Oh man,
is that a shot?
I think someone was trying to sit on a stool or a yoga ball, trying to get the shot in there.
Oh my!
And they kept bumping into the guy. I don't know what was going on in that thing, man. But anyways, it was a good movie. Only just at the it's not one. I know it's not Marvel, but just that little bit at the end of the car scene. Great, beautiful. Boom. Try it, see it.
Beautiful.
Black Panther. Yes. I loved every single bit of this movie, between the music, between the culture, between the people, between the unity, between what they stand for. What was dope is when I went in to see it at the theater, there was a lot of gals dressed in their cultural garb. Like it was just dope. Like, oh damn, that's tight. I didn't know they went in. They sat down, and then as soon as the music kicked up, when they were doing the ritual just before he had to fight what's his face, I can't remember his name. Oh,
Killmonger?
No. First battle. It was just
like,
yeah. It was just like a formality, kind of almost, but he took it serious and he wanted to do it. They got an up. They were emotional. I could see it in their face how important and how. Between the music, the chants, it was just impressive and just moving to me to see that from them, that it just got represented, it got brought out. And from then on, it was like respect. I really, like I said, I can't have like a one movie, because between that and representing everything that is loved by everyone, I don't know. Ant-Man is another favorite of mine. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, Ant-Man is great.
Yes.
Underappreciated.
The only reason why I picked this one as one of my faves, it touches on how it almost mimics my life in some way. Like, yeah, he went to prison and did his time, but he was away from his daughter and his family. I had a similar situation, so it really tugged to me that he wasn't able to see his child grow up as I went through. Not to get all emotional, nothing about it. It just really tugged to me, and it just talked to me. Between the humor, between the characters, And just this was my favorite suit rendition of the Ant-Man suit. Not the dog on the other one. I love that one too, but I really love this one because it was just had this old OG inventive style to it.
Okay.
Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. I mean, it's dope. And Pym being in there, ooh, that was dope too. Everybody has like a dope explanation about this. All I could say is this: the movie had some dope action. The direction was really cool, and then bringing him into like Civil War, and then eventually bringing him into like the final, like having him his big size to freaking smash some shit up. That was tight too. Love it. Endgame.
All right.
And I think those are my 3 movies. I don't know.
Excellent choices. I loved Ant-Man. It was hilarious.
Yes.
That fight scene with the train that looked so like explosive and everything, and then they zoomed out. And when the ant ran out of the house and the dog, the cop was like, "What kind of dog breed is that?" Like just little, you were just cracking up the whole film. It was delightful.
The whole thing. Yeah,
excellent choice.
It sucks that they weren't able to capture it again in the second one, but
No.
I added this one because everybody else had we're basically similar to Winter Soldier in that. Ragnarok to me was just, I don't know, it was entertainment. It was definitely entertainment. And one of the for me one of the better ones from the 3 series, at least for me, because it just brought everything in there for me, between losing family, or losing yourself but refinding themselves, and then regaining the throne, and Hela, ooh, dude,
amazing. Hela killed it,
dude. She was so good. Oh my god,
I don't even know, bro. Like I don't even I can't even, like, she was like at a shop and you were like trying to look for shoes and she looked at you like, nah, I'm not gonna ask her for anything. She's just scary, bro.
That's
I'm
fair.
Ask that lady.
That's exactly right.
Fair.
You go to ask her a question and be like, you know what? I'll figure it out on my own.
Yeah, basically. It's like,
originally I messed up and picked 5 movies and 3 shows, and this, when I had 5 movies, this was one of them for similar reasons to what you're saying.
Yes. Okay.
Excellent film.
Great.
This was the Thor that turned it around, because the first Thor, I liked it. A lot of people didn't. Like, they're like, oh my god, there's no action. It's like, you got to tell the story of Thor and him becoming worthy again. There's not a lot of action in that.
No.
And then the Dark World, that movie happened. And then this turned it all around. I like giving the series to Taika was an awesome choice.
Well, I think they tried to make Thor. They made Thor this like big hunkin' moron, right? And then when they had to do his standalone films, they had written them. They boxed themselves in a corner by making him like the big dumb, like pompous kind of thing. So so it's like I felt like they painted themselves into a corner, and that's why Dark World wasn't that great, because you could only stretch that so far,
right? And
the brilliance in having, I can't say his name,
Taika Waititi.
Thank you. Our Flag Means Death is amazing, by the way.
Love it.
And having him come in and breathe new life and just kind of lean into it in a way where like the joke's on him, but he's also in on the joke.
Yep.
And like that whole thing with Bruce Banner when he's hiding out and he's literally just covering. You're like, yeah, totally incognito, dude. But like how they lean into it just made this movie the best of all the Thor films, and actually just like a very refreshing Marvel movie in the middle of a lot of some really heavy stuff too. So I'm with you. That would have been that if I had been allowed the 5, that was one of the 5.
Yes, it did in there.
I just want to address Marcus's comment. Marcus said his top 3 was Guardians of the Galaxy as number 3. The soundtrack was amazing. Black Panther 2 is a masterpiece reflected in Oscar nominations. Ha, brother, you got it. And Thor Ragnarok.
Marcus, 3 for 3. Excellent choices. Guardians of the Galaxy, the soundtrack alone, man.
Yes.
I got a playlist. I play it, somewhere all the time.
It is. I don't need to play this because I already owned all those songs from being old. So
same. But still, to have it in the form of a mixtape made it amazing again.
True. So you got the original record part. Do you have like one of those?
Or like Gamora? How do they get the sticks up their butts?
Yes,
Reggie.
People being funny unintentionally is hilarious.
It is.
Reggie, please, before we go on the tangent, it's warming up.
Let's reel it back in.
Thank you, Marcus, for your comment.
Yeah, that's me right there. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so
Mhm.
yeah,
Let's see which one we had in common.
I know,
yeah,
right?
we kind of sort of all had a movie in common, and hey, look, it's
Boom.
Yeah.
right there.
Okay, Black
I
Panther.
mean,
Which one was
it's an
this one?
excellent
What order?
movie. There's like, granted, it did fall into the Marvel first movie. Your bad guy's gonna be you with a different colored outfit. Yes, it did fall into that.
Well,
That
they're
happened.
literally cousins.
Yes,
But still,
and it was one of his older costumes. I get that. I get that. But every Marvel movie that was not Thor or Thor the first one, it was your bad guy is you in a different colored uniform. Good luck.
It's kind of like Star Trek in the Mirror Universe.
Yes, they all had goatees in that first movie.
Oh my goodness.
And that's
Okay.
what made them bad, but so good.
That's right. And so because we espoused all on this one and told all the good stuff about it, so yeah, we know this one. Everyone knows this one. But my next one might throw you for a loop because even though they said it was a C-list series, I've been reading this series off and on since the beginning. And since Vance Astro first picked up Captain America's shield to make this team what it was, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yo.
And I was
Marcus,
reading it.
you and Marcus.
There you
when
go.
I was reading it and they brought in Peter Quill in this version of the Guardians, it was a good turning point because they went from the old classic version because they were still following the old classic version from the 60s and 70s and the 80s. Like, we need a whole new spin on Guardians of the Galaxy. We need to change things up a bit. Let's get an anthropomorphic talking raccoon that's an engineering genius. Let's get a tree dude from Planet X. That'll be great. Let's get Drax the Destroyer, the dumb version. Or make him smart, but great.
Right.
Let's get Gamora. How are we getting Gamora? We just introduced Thanos. We don't care. We're getting Gamora. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And just the way, this was set up is exactly how this should have been done.
Okay.
It should have been the comedy that it was. Yes, it's action, it's adventure, but it's funny. They are a team barely.
This is where you have all of chaotic good, chaotic neutral.
Yes. Yes.
If your entire
Possible
D&D team is comprised of chaotic good, chaotic neutral, and chaotic evil, let's be honest. So if your entire campaign is based on the chaotic scale, this is what you get. But it's also a testament of like the best kind of family is the family that you kind of just comes together.
Right.
Because this is a motley crew if ever there was one.
Like the full saying goes, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Because everyone's like, oh, blood's thicker than water. That's not what it means, bro. It means the people you choose that choose you are a better fit for you than
never
maybe
heard that
the
full
people that
statement.
share DNA with you.
I've never heard that full statement. Thank you,
You've
Reggie.
never heard the full thing?
No. You know what? I'm not even going to entertain you. Reggie, what position is this? What position is this list on?
This is number 2 right here. I'm going in numerical order. We started at the top.
Okay.
So we did 1, 2, and then what
Show
is
me your
number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3, you sure? You sure you want it? Are you sure?
Yes.
You want it? All right, I'm going to show you. Because it's right here.
Oh.
It's right here. It's that one.
Part
Every other movie-
1?
No, this is number 3. Number 3.
No, I mean, this
it's
is
part 1 of
yes,
2.
part 1. Because this one, it pulled that Star Wars on you. All your people just got fucked up. What are you going to do? This is the end of your movie right here. Everyone's dead. What do you do? How do you handle it? How do you come back from that?
How do you process it?
What do you do? I mean, yes, you could do that, but that's not going to help anybody.
We
Now,
did get a great
all
Spider-Man
of us
death team.
as
Yes.
intelligent people, knowing that there was a second half coming, and more than likely, most, if not all of these characters would be back. Like they would find a way. We all knew this here, but we all left that theater
with a lump.
wrecked.
Yes.
You know why?
It was real.
You know why?
Wrecked.
It was because of Tom Holland's death scene, that
Oh,
improvised death scene.
That was like
That was amazing.
One of those things. That one was so brutal. I had to make fun of it to make myself not feel bad about it. To
See,
make
I
everyone
did the
else
same
feel
thing.
bad. So, like literally like 2 months after the movie, every I don't feel good meme was all over my Facebook. Especially
See, if you've ever seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the film that came before the series,
Yes.
they kill Pee Wee Herman, and it takes him about 15 minutes to die in the
why
film.
would you do this?
Thank
Oh,
you.
it hurts so bad.
That's how Tom Holland's death scene was in Infinity War to me. And I giggled while watching the movie, but I think it was just because I was so emotionally like overcome by that point. Because the hardest one for me was Wanda and Vision.
Oh yeah.
For her to kill him, to destroy the stone, only for him to turn back time and get it anyway, the trauma, like right there. My heart was just so anything that happened after that, although it was still emotionally impactful, I was like, I'm done after this. Like I've got nothing. Like I'm a shell of myself. Now I'm just gonna start giggling for no reason because
And the other one is wasn't Hawkeye is pretty harsh, like as he was just chilling there at his.
well, that was the beginning of Endgame.
Endgame, but that was happening at the time when they were.
Yeah.
And then it was
So
just,
he's just talking to his kids, and all of a sudden everybody's just gone.
They're
I
just
understand
gone.
why he went down the spiral that he did.
Yes.
But yeah, that Wanda and Vision, that to me is where my heart just completely broke. My mind broke emotionally. I could not. I just could
I
not
had to do
at that
this.
point.
Like I had to be like quiet.
My shirt was up like
Yeah.
this, and I was like sobbing.
I'm judging you all. But I want to get into my list, go to it quickly, and then I just want to say I only have one surprise. I only have one surprise. Reggie,
Only one?
please, if you wouldn't mind, sir.
It
Let's
just
pretty
goes to
much-
show we all have really excellent taste.
we
You
do.
do.
So
I love how we all have
Oh,
a different
I love this
poster though too.
That was good.
Look, I'm a smart man. I know how to do this. I'm like,
right.
Get
you
it,
all pick
Reggie.
the same damn. I'm gonna get different posters for each movie.
I think that's the one I don't know if that's the one I sent you, but either way.
It's a higher quality version than the tiny one that I got.
Hold on. I want to be seen while I talk. Hold
This
on,
is the full picture, not the thumbnail.
Fair.
Don't look at you putting yourself
I
at the top again.
screenshot it. Leave me alone, okay? So
From the man that said, make sure you get a high quality picture so they show
I did not.
up
I
good.
never said that. That was all you.
Ooh,
No.
even
No,
me.
Mayhem
even
was
me
the
is
one
over
that
here like,
said
what?
I did this week's assignment and next week's assignment. So
Yeah.
I did.
Screenshots.
I did. You need to upgrade your technology. Is what I'm going to say. Wakanda forever.
anyway,
So with Black Panther, really quickly, we had a great cast. There's not a person that you don't love. Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of Black Panther is iconic to this day. It's kind of like why we want to go see Black Panther 2 to see if they had the nerve and the gall and the audacity to recast him, which I think they should to help us move on. But it's just like he's so prominent. He's such a great actor, and he was going through so much, and he gave us such a great performance in Civil War and in this. They almost did this movie like The Dark Knight, where Killmonger had such an impact, he almost took away from T'Challa. You know, Joker, as you know, just like you forgot, I forgot that it was a Batman movie. It almost happened with Killmonger or Michael B.
his
Jordan.
last line in the film, "Bury me in the sea,
Ooh.
ocean." Like I don't want to mess it up, so I'm not gonna say it, but you all know which one I'm talking about.
Yes.
That I don't know anyone that couldn't have hit. Like that was the most perfect way to end it for him.
We have posters of it. We have posters. Well, I'll get into that another time. Shuri was amazing. The Dora Milaje was a great take because, you know, up until now, women, with the exception of maybe Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, weren't really seen as superheroes and capable. But here it is. You had this badassery guard that would take you down.
And Milaje have jurisdiction wherever they find themselves.
Ooh, like you.
We'll get to that.
I mean, you better open that door. I mean, Bucky found out they also repossess things. I mean, I mean, it was an amazing cast, amazing performance, amazing music. I go for the Black Panther soundtrack by Ludwig von Garrison. I'm pretty sure I'm messing up his name. It's amazing. It's just something to kind of vibe out on. And we got a really great thing. To quote, to touch upon your topic earlier, Kat, I think this was the start of the movie, if not the Winter Soldier, and even arguably the first Avenger, Captain America, where they started using metaphors to show what's going on in the real world. what's going on in real life. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
right.
This
You're
here
right.
was generational I say toxicity,
Yeah.
generational curses, just it was so much. And if you haven't seen the movie, by all means, please see it and buy it because you're gonna end up buying it. It's so much meaning behind it. So this is one of the movies where they were like, let's try it out, and people really gravitated toward it. Let's do it in other movies that come out. I think this came out in 2014, subsequently after this. So this right here, I think is the kickoff. It's arguable in the Winter Soldier. It's arguable in the first Avenger, but I really think here's where Disney was like, you know what? We're gonna do what Marvel did back
We're
in the
gonna
day.
lean into it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna show you who you really are to an extent.
And you also got to see how people would have progressed if they hadn't, like, their whole thing of Wakanda being completely isolated and no one knowing where it is, whatever. You got to see how this community thrived had it not been for outside interference.
And that's a metaphor in itself too. But
Exactly.
100%. But let's go to my next one. So Civil War was actually number 3.
So good.
This is the movie that, if it's like Game of Thrones, right? People have been talking about Game of Thrones, but some people don't explain it right, and others do. But people are like, I don't want to see it because everybody's talking about it. I'll see it on my own terms. That was pretty much the MCU until Civil War, because everybody walked in and then out of that theater claiming either Team Cap or Team Iron Man. It was hard not to show who you sided with, and rightfully so. Cap, I think, was right all along. Like, why are we gonna register the heroes when Hydra literally infiltrated Shield and they know all our secrets? But Iron Man's the futurist. The futurist, everybody, the futurist.
You all know how I feel about Iron Man, so I was Team Cap all the way.
So Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is iconic. I just want to add that there. It's just iconic. We had a great fight scene between him and Bucky and Cap at the end. Oh my God. I think we kind of all sleep on Crossbones and what he did to the team. Baron Zemo, what he did to the team as well. How he Baron Zemo separated the team, and how, like, oh my God, it was amazing. One thing I will say about this movie is I still sided with Cap. I know people will bring up the fact that he didn't tell he didn't tell Iron Man that Bucky, killed his parents. But it's like, fam,
with reason.
But come on, like, you couldn't trust them because you literally created Ultron, fam. Like, you were behind our back. You were out here doing things on the slide too. But
don't forget, Cap told him, don't mess with this. You don't know what it is. You're smart, but you're not that smart.
But you don't know everything. And that's something that Iron Man had a hard time learning. Also, not to mention, other members of the Avengers had been mind controlled and did some pretty bad things, and Iron Man was pretty lax about all that. So I think that his reaction, although it's his parents, I get it.
Right.
He knows that it wasn't Bucky that did it.
Oh my God. I loved the fact that all these.
You're skipping ahead, buddy.
Anyway, it was amazing. It was an amazing movie. Let's move on. Apparently, so I'm gonna change this because technically, it's Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I'm gonna change it. Thank you to Ness. It's Soldier American Winter, as he said earlier, and I think that's a great name for it. Thank you, Ness, for that one.
You're very welcome.
This was my number 1 movie until Black Panther, and I struggled. Because that's how, like Kat said, that's how well written it was. That's how impactful it was. That's how great the actors and actresses were in this. Spoilers. That's how great this movie was. But you know what? Black Panther had to be number 1 just on the strength, and it was really it's night and day, but it's great night and day. The one thing I think we missed on, besides the fact that great costume, is that this also set up Marvel's great storyline for a lot of things going on. The crumbling of Avengers, how human people really are, what's going on, who can you really trust? You know what I'm saying?
This was like a jumping off point that set the pace for the rest of the films.
Which you did say. So this was amazing. Definitely get it. Bucky, I think, was at his strongest here. Don't get me wrong; he's a great character. I think he was really great, stronger, if not just as strong, in Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the series. But like, it's just amazing, man, just amazing. What we're gonna do now, because we're kind of running short on time. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have you fly through your series really quickly.
I don't know if I can do that. Okay.
Cat, go for your series. We got Cat series lined up.
Are mine lined up?
Yes.
Okay, ready. We're gonna be quick.
Only because we're running out of time.
I know. I get it. I'm gonna try to be like. I know it's hard for me to be concise sometimes, but Reggie, saw me to it. Okay.
Oh, the
Agent
Carter.
The
Yeah.
fashion, the story,
Yeah.
the Peggy. I could not pick her. Probably my favorite female-driven Marvel thing to date, just because we had this just. She never got what she deserved. So getting to see her as Captain Carter,
Yes.
really solidify that we should have gotten more seasons of this, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But this was freaking amazing, and she's freaking amazing, and the fashion alone makes it worth it. But go on.
Of course.
Everything that we talked about in the other movies that were great were cherry picked and put into this television show.
Yes.
Baron Simo, the Dora Milaje, the secret, repossession.
Oh, what? You
Their
two think we had our
relationship.
ways?
I don't know how you could have watched the deprogramming of Bucky and not be completely heartbroken, or seen the story of oh gosh, I forgot his name now. Is it Isaiah?
Yes,
The original Captain America.
Oh, yes,
Isaiah Bradley. Yes.
And how they did him so dirty, and at the end how they had that how they put him in the Captain America museum and everything. This was so many beautiful ways of paying homage to the family being what you make of it. This odd couple of people who don't like each other, but they have a best friend in common that they both love and cherish and respect above all these. But the show was just beautiful from beginning to end, and I almost used his line on you when you were talking about something else, when I was like, you out of line, but you right though.
He's out of line, but he's right. I use that line weekly.
I'm serious. And just like the Dora Milaje, our jurisdiction is wherever we decide it is, or something along those lines.
Yes, right.
All came from this masterpiece of a show, and hopefully helped people get over the fact that he's the next Captain America. Like, get over yourselves. He's fucking amazing. And let's move on. Right. Next, Jessica Jones. This was from the Netflix series, and nothing against Jessica Jones, but I picked Jessica Jones because Kilgrave.
Yeah.
Probably the best, like, psychotic boyfriend storyline ever. And this, I think, brought the Netflix shows just in general to a whole new level. It was really close for me for this one and the other Netflix series, because I did really enjoy them, aside from Iron Fist. But Jessica Jones with Kilgrave in both those seasons was just so impactful. He was so amazing, and he made every episode that he was in exciting in a way that I don't think the other Netflix series got for me personally. Okay. And that's why I went with Jessica Jones.
Fair enough.
Next.
But of course.
Loki, just highly entertaining. That's all I'm going to say on that. It was just really entertaining. Was it the best that they've ever done? No. But was it the most entertaining? Absolutely. Yes. And not to mention what they did with the Infinity Stones. I'm still pissed off.
That was what?
It was a big, like, to me, it was Marvel's like, oh my God, you guys and these effing stones already. Let's put that
over it.
But one thing Marvel is super incredible on is all these little things that they put in the background and these little nods here and there that people just love to rewatch things over and over again, because you always get something new out of it. And I think they really did it in a way in Loki that made us angry and also made us very excited as to what's to come. And even with the whole timing of this, along with what was happening with WandaVision, how they like lined that up to bring us into the next phase of MCU was just really masterfully done. Disney and Marvel working together are doing a bang up job. And finally, I've said this one before, WandaVision was something, I know that some people weren't that excited the first couple of episodes, but I was on board from
Oh,
the
from the
very
beginning.
first minute of the very
Mhm.
first episode. It's the only one that I got up early on a Friday morning. I think it was Friday morning, so they were releasing new episodes, so I could watch it before I went to work because I was that excited to see where we were going to go, and the whole breakdown of Wanda, the relationship with Vision, and um, how every episode had its own theme. And if you were an 80s kid or even just somebody who liked watching nostalgia television like the
Yeah.
50s and 60s, like Nick and Knight and all that,
Yeah.
you got to like, oh, this is based on this. And so there was like a whole nother level of enjoying it, but it really brought the story forward and bringing her into being the Scarlet Widow that completely dominated in the Doctor Strange
The
film.
Scarlet Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch.
Winter
You
Scarlet
see
Widow.
what I've been doing this all, like the two of them. Sorry, Scarlet
Vision,
Witch.
Wanda, Scarlet Widow. That's a good one.
Listen,
American Winter Soldier. Come
I
on.
was just about to say
Oh,
something.
there you
Anyway,
go.
Scarlet Witch, the badass Scarlet Witch that we got in the Doctor Strange film. So yeah, this was my number one television show for sure.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Eddie, you're up.
All right. Well, so I got one image that I didn't get, but I'm going to start out with that one. You might have it already, Reggie, by somebody. It might have been you as well. I picked Daredevil for my first.
I think I have that. You can use it.
You got that one? Yes. So real quick, I was a fan of Daredevil back in the day, and then they got the show. I was like, yes. And then I saw, his suit eventually, and he had his, at first, okay, it was a little okay, to be honest, it was a little difficult to finally get the suit, but it was like, it took a minute, but it was just like a savory kind of way. It's like, he's going to get it. He's going to get it. Every episode coming along, kicking ass. Okay, it's here. Nope, it's not here yet. All right, last episode. What? Okay, there it is. And I was happy. And I was satisfied. I was just like, okay, good, finally. And then the second episode, the second season came out, and then that was really dope. And then there was another, and then that didn't take very long. But then season 3, that matched up with Defenders. It was awesome. If anybody hasn't seen it, you should definitely watch it because it connects with everybody you want to. Anyways, my second show, Moon and Knight. Oh wait, no, Loki. Sorry, only gonna say it because Gator Loki.
No, you just tell me what it is, and I'll put it. You didn't give them to me in any order.
Oh no, no worries, because it was all a surprise to me because I didn't know what order it came in. So I'm going with it. I'm winging it. I want chicken wings now because I'm winging it. That's
I
why.
hate you. All right, so Moon Knight, go ahead.
Oh man, I enjoyed Moon and Knight. Me and my daughter were watching this, and
why do you say
enjoyed
Moon and Knight? Why do you?
Yeah,
I don't know why I say Moon and Knight, but I say Moon and Knight.
They're not
it's supposed to be
in
Moon Knight, but I've been saying Moon and Knight for the longest. It still sticks. Same thing as backpack. It should be backpack, but I say vackpack sometimes.
You
Does
know
anybody
what?
say backpack? No.
Somebody hit
Okay.
the credits. That's it. We're done.
Anyways,
Backpacks and backpacks.
last one, Loki. Loki was dope. Just because they got the alligator Loki that chomped the hand.
Yay!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Thank you very much, Reggie. You're up. I think we can. It's always a fun time
I'm up,
with us.
and mine has a special place for me because this is
Okay.
the OG of Marvel TV shows.
Oh my God, he got the
Even though
Spider-Man
it's not
from
canon,
1970s.
after the 3rd season, I don't care. This is still my show because
Oh
Coulson-
yeah.
Coulson is my man.
It started off so strong.
It did because they could get the show done faster than they could get the movies out, and after
Yeah.
they did Thor 2, they're like, our show is going to go past if we keep going. Well, we're no longer going to focus on what y'all are doing, and then that's when they had the future jump and the time twists, and
then
got
Shield in
crazy.
space.
yes, Shield
They
in
tried.
space, and
They
another
did. They
world.
really did. But the cavalry,
Dude, Cavalry, that's my girl right there.
I
And
love
then
her
Bobby,
so much.
Yaz. Look, this was my show.
Mockingbird.
And let me show you why. Well, this is my show before this, but this just cemented it being my show. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I
Yeah.
loved Fitzsimmons though too.
Yes,
I really love
Fitzsimmons was-
Fitzsimmons.
Dude,
I love how
it
every week
upset
you
me
get a
that it
picture.
took them 6 seasons to get their life together.
Mm-hmm.
6 seasons. I'm like, bruh, stop it. Stop it. Let them
And
be
Mac
happy.
and everybody. Oh my gosh! Now you're making me remember all of these things. Great show. It was
Great
it was
show.
a fantastic show, even when it got weird. It was still a great
got
show.
weird. It got real weird.
It
but
did
that's
get
okay.
weird, but that's
Number two's
okay.
gonna
We're
be
all
Peggy.
weirdos
Yes.
anyway.
Wow, another Agent Carter.
It's
Woo!
Dude,
Yup.
Peggy is badass. Period. Without Peggy, there is no Shield. Literally,
Mm.
literally. Had she not been around in the SSI, there would be no Shield
Okay.
at all.
Mhm.
So you couldn't have most of what happened in the MCU without this woman.
But look at the fashion, okay?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can be
Classic.
a secret agent and still
Still look
be
good.
classic.
Like bam.
And not to mention we got to see some of the more original Black Widows as well, which was
Amazing, yeah.
which was
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Yes,
In their women boarding house.
that's right.
It's just
And then
so
boom,
funny
number
to me.
3.
Like she's almost head of Shield and she's living in a boarding house with a bunch of
I
random
know,
women.
right?
Like,
And of course,
guess they
number
don't pay
3
much.
Number 3 has always got to be on here because it was a great show.
It
You want to talk about a character build, breakdown, and build up? This is that show right here. I'm Loki. I'm the trickster guy. Haha! I do funny things to get your riles on. Haha! Man, why do I do these things? It's that man. Fuck Destiny. No, I do the things because I want to do them. No one's making me do nothing. Oh, it really is Destiny making me do. Let me find out how to fix that. And he goes on and fixes that. And then his alter self goes and is like, I'm just gonna screw everything up. And then we got the multiverse of madness.
Yay.
And Kang the Conqueror, aka Phase 4, and its main villain.
Allegedly.
And moving on, because we got this one, because it's good. This is another good character one right here. The only reason it's not above Loki is because I like Loki more than I like Hawkeye, but these two shows are comparable and they can be seen side to side. Literally, this is a regular dude that has some exceptional skill at shooting a crossbow, dealing with otherworldly threats, magical threats, and he's like, just like in Civil War, he's like, or not Civil War, Ultron. He's like, I'm just a dude with a bow and arrow fighting robots that can fly. This doesn't make sense. Like, I felt like, I'm like,
When he was watching the play and he's like,
yeah, he's like, that's, oh my God, that's not how it happened. But God. Was that man even there, Dad? No, he was not. I'm just gonna take this out now. I can't. I would have too. And then of course, this one right here, the one that just kicked off basically Phase 4 of the MCU. It's like, this is why the MCU is gonna have Phase 4. She's gonna lead into it, but she's not gonna be like the big draw of it. We're gonna let that be Loki, and then Loki's gonna set that up.
and all the misdirects in this. Oh, they had us all wound up.
There's a YouTube channel I watch that everything was Mephisto. Everything was Mephisto. Mephisto.
House of M.
Yeah.
Like,
House
you know,
of
like
M.
the B, everything had a Quicksilver was them bringing in the X-Men and they're like, no.
Yes, he went in hard. And then there's another channel I watch that makes fun of that channel because every time something is alluded to, he's like, Mephisto confirmed. And he just stares at the camera. And he goes on with the show. I'm like, bro, you're going to roast that man for the rest of eternity, aren't you? I'm like, he probably
like
will.
every theory. And then when Paul Bettany said he was going to be working with an actor that he's always
always
wanted to work with,
with,
and everybody's like, oh, it's
This
Professor X, or it's this, and it's himself.
And it's himself. He trolled
Girl,
us.
come on.
That was a great troll, though.
It was a great
It
troll, but I
was.
think we were like, really?
Is this how we're doing it? Thank you, Paul Bettany. You're so great. Thank you.
Jerk.
Jerk. All right, Mayhem.
Let's do this.
I'm going to let you do this.
I'm going to wrap it up. All right. So, first of all, Loki was my number one because it was the best series to me. And the reason why it won everything else is because of the pacing. There was no dull episodes. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of build-up, great story. He also had us questioning what I've been asking people for a long time. Like, if you met your alternate dimensional self.
Stop. Don't you dare. Don't you dare say that out loud. Don't you dare.
Would you be attracted to them?
I thought about that.
And it's a great setup. Kang, I can't wait to see more of Kang. I mean, honestly, I think he's a phenomenal actor. And what he did, like that whole last episode was just a mind. Because at that point I was like, well, I kind of agree with him. He's right. He's trying to help us. No, he's just gonna, okay. Like Kat said, like Reggie said, they kept in this show as well as WandaVision. They kept giving us little tidbits, little things, and we were like, "Oh, Celestial! Oh, this, that. Oh, they're gonna bring all this stuff," and they were like, "No." And we're like, no.
What do you mean no?
But I have 500 tickets. Give me the ball on the wall. No. So they totally took our power. Let's go to the next one. So the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was number 3 on my list, only because they had their moments. It started off strong, but then it got slow at some points. Metaphorically, it was amazing. We had some really great moments. Isaiah Bradley, which I called it on another show, I thought he was going to be there, was amazing. But ultimately, I think they had to pull back from being too political, even though metaphorically, Marvel's like, we're going to make you look inward now.
I also think they had a pretty weak pseudo villain to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah,
because they had to change the complete story because of COVID.
Okay.
Okay.
It wasn't. They weren't getting supplies to help. That was the complete opposite of what they were doing. Okay. That's why they came off as weird terrorists that weren't terrorists. Because they were flat out terrorists in the original. Yeah, they were flat out terrorists in the original cut. And they're like, "Ooh, that's too close to now. Let's not do that."
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, and then also, if I could honestly say this, like, it didn't matter because it still was pretty good. And as far as we know, the rumors are it's leading to a movie, which will be amazing.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
Because if we get a movie, more than likely, Miss Carter will be there.
And it's nice to see Agent 13 having something to do.
Yes,
100%. Even though she wasn't Agent 13 anymore, she was the power broker.
Yeah,
that'd be and that's once again setting up multiple things, which I love. Universe building.
Spoiler from 2 years ago. Sorry.
Next, please.
I didn't know.
And not to mention Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean,
I know.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Nice cameo.
WandaVision was number 4 out of 5. I love WandaVision, but it was slow to an extent, and it left me with so many more questions. Like, where is the White Vision? Where is the White Vision?
Where did he go?
You know,
he went into isolation and figured stuff out. He'll come back.
So he pulled that broken Jedi stuff. I fucked stuff up. Let me just go away from the world.
He's going to a distant planet, and he's going to be milking some banthas.
far away. For me, still a great. Like, this is amazing. You should watch it nonetheless. It's nostalgia is great. The story's pretty good. Agatha. Oh my God, Agatha Harkness. She had her own theme song, and we were singing it, and then we remixed it. The culture remixed it. That's how good it was.
And the return of Kat Dennings. And I'm sorry, I forgot the other guy that everyone says is the guy from The Office, John Krasinski.
Yeah, he is John Krasinski. Did you not see the episode in the photo?
That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't think that's just in a joke.
So, like the casting, Marvel's casting just across the board has really been amazing. Even the kids and everything, and even the stuff that didn't pan out, like the whole Quicksilver thing, which ended up being a dick joke.
I know, right?
And like,
your name is Boner.
To your credit, it leaves a lot of unanswered questions that I'm hoping are going to be addressed somewhere down the line. Yes. So I kind of like that they've left it open-ended into interpretation, because hopefully that's building anticipation to when we finally get those resolutions. Because I don't think that they were left unanswered on accident or because they weren't mindful of it. I think they were purposely left that way because this is going to end up somewhere eventually.
Fair enough. Shout out to Tiana Paris, aka Spectrum. Loved it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Let's move on to the next one, shall we? Hawkeye. So much promise. Number 5, obviously. So much promise, but it didn't quite deliver. Like, WandaVision kind of delivered. Falcon kind of delivered. But Hawkeye, I was still looking. Echo, I thought, was amazing. What's her name? Not Wanda. Kate Bishop and
Yelena.
Little sister.
Yelena, yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
They need their own
relationship. Oh gosh.
They need their own
elevator scene.
Yeah, the elevator scene, the macaroni and cheese scene. They were electric together every scene that they shared.
I like that hit. It was a good hit. Yeah, but Did you have to hit me so hard? I didn't hit you that hard.
Right, right. See, amazing. Go and watch it, and you'll see what we're talking about. And I'm gonna move into the next one, but I'm gonna reference this person. We got Vincent back. We got Vincent back in Hawkeye. He's alive. I don't think he's dead. But originally we got him in Daredevil, and to this day, he has played Kingpin the best out of anybody else.
I actually preferred him in the office scenes leading up to the final scene than in the final fight. And at the end of a Hawkeye, like because that felt like a little too OP for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is Kingpin.
Yes,
he
100%.
is Kingpin.
We got Daredevil on Netflix, and this is what spurred Luke Cage and
Jessica Jones and
I mean,
Iron Fist and the Defenders and
oh yeah, that's right. We got Daredevil first. So
Daredevil was the OG.
So Daredevil was a success. Jessica Jones, the first season, and I want to say half of the second season was
the Kilgrave parts. Yeah.
And then of course Punisher. The Punisher. You know, I didn't include it because I still think it could be better, but the Punisher, even his cameos in Daredevil was amazing. I put this as number 2. Only problem I had with this was, remember the sonar scenes?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I saw the Batfleck or Ben Affleck's Daredevil. and his sonar scenes were better than this Netflix's Daredevil.
Very true.
But nonetheless,
sure, that was a budget thing, but yeah.
Either way, we still got great scenes, like that hallway scene that was like 20 minutes long. Fight scene, we got great story. I felt like what they did in 2 seasons, Loki, to an extent, not action-wise, did in 1 season as far as story goes, which is why I put Loki above it. But I am looking forward to knocking Loki down to number 2 if and when they come out with a 3rd season.
I do hope that they don't change the intro to Daredevil, because the Netflix series for these guys, those intros were all amazing.
They're gonna. Beautiful. I think they're gonna, because at least they'll change the name. They're gonna change the name.
Well, name okay, but like that intro with the, I don't know if it's supposed to be blood or the paint dripping, and the way and the music was perfect.
Very haunting. Very lovely.
Very very perfection.
So I'm just gonna wrap up by saying, and I'm gonna let Reggie take over, of course, that this was my list. Obviously, we're looking forward to hearing your list. Definitely comment below, let us know, tag us, all that good stuff. Miss Marvel started today when we recorded this, so we're looking forward to seeing that. All in all, for the most part, since COVID, Disney has been knocking it out of the park, and you'd be hard pressed to find somebody having consistent hits, especially with superheroes specifically. That's been like back-to-back seasons or back-to-back couple of months, to a point where we're a little upset with them with the Star Wars franchise. Bad Batch, but we're working on it. What in my mind, how I justify it is that there's a lot of legal jargon, a lot of legal things, and a lot of hands in the pot, because we had a built universe. You took that down, and then you showed us what it could be in The Mandalorian season 1 and 2.
I just would like to have a Star Wars show that doesn't involve a child.
The Skywalkers?
Can we, just a kid? Can we have a Star Wars show without a freaking kid?
Bring me the child.
Every single one has a kid that needs to be protected or shielded or transported. Stop it.
The kids don't need to be a centerpiece.
We don't. And I'm not complaining, because I loved Obi-Wan so far, but as soon as it started to go in a certain direction, I'm like,
yeah.
Do they not see that they've done it in every single show that they've done?
Boba Fett didn't have a kid. He had an assassin.
It had a child. A literal baby. A 50-year-old baby, but still a baby.
Listen, I agree with everyone here. What Star Wars needs to do is leave the kids behind and develop the universe and other characters. Side note, Predator, aka Prey, is coming out, and that looks amazing. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
And on that note, thank you everybody for watching. This is the 4-Letter Nerd, brought to you by Kill the Sign Comics. This is the podcast for adult geeks that talk about things that are relevant that we like. What?
We're a TV show. We're literally on screen talking.
Yeah.
We're a video cast.
Video cast.
We're a TV podcast We obviously we have no idea what's going on. Thank you for joining us, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
We're now,
There you go.
you're part of the family, Marcus. Bring your friends.
Yeah.
Expose them.
This has been Four Letter Nerd. We're gonna get out of here, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to this. This ain't a TED Talk, but it's a talk. Thank you for coming. Good night.
American Soul.